Max 93.1, the Islands rock. My name is Lee Ruby, checking in as we are doing the Wednesday wraparound with our Charlottetown Islanders. This week, joined live on the phone by Luke Much. How's it going, Luke?
Pretty good, Lee. Thanks for having me on here.
You're welcome, man, and a lot to celebrate right now. I had seen a graphic yesterday that our Charlottetown Islanders in the last 10 games are the hottest team in the queue.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, really, and who would have thought? We're 8-2 in our last 10 games played. One of the wins being against the Memorial Cup host for Muskie Oceanic. One of the losses being against the best team in the country, the Moncton Wildcats. But all in all, it's been a really good stretch ever since 2025 has started. The Islanders, they've sold at the trade deadline, but they look like a better team somehow. So it's odd to see, but we're happy to see it.
Oh, exactly. It's kind of like, misreading a treasure map and still finding the treasure.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's great. Obviously, this week they are on the road. They got a 3-game stretch going on in Rouyn-Noranda and Val-d'Or and Gatineau, and then they're back in Eastlink next week. Obviously, that's going to be a very exciting time with the return of Alexei Michaud, and then Moncton is in town. But not to get ahead of oneself, but what are you kind of looking at for this little stretch of 3 games here? Looks like they definitely have some winnable games based on the way they've been playing as well, right, Luke?
Yeah, right now we're really hoping to get 4 out of 6 points. That's the main goal on this road trip. If you can win 2 out of 3, you make it a successful road trip, a winning road trip, and then you head back home on the right foot. I mean, it's a quick turnaround against Gatineau, just 2 weeks pretty much, or 1 week, I guess, in between matches with Gatineau, and then Rouyn-Noranda, that's going to be the tougher test, right? They're a little bit of an older team. They're above us in the standings, and Val-d'Or is going to be an interesting one. They've struck goals this year, just like Gatineau has. So the Islanders, a team who hasn't scored much in the first half, but again, the good times have started to roll here in 2025, and the scoring's been a really, really big boost. Scoring 6 against the Memorial Cup host team. That's pretty impressive for a team that doesn't score too much in the regular season.
Yeah, and they're getting goals the right way. I've noticed, a lot of those, as a lot of them say, Jim Halton style play. It's more of a grinding way. Just the way to make sure you're continuing to get those chances, and more depth through the lineup has been helping. Since the new year has turned, I know a great conversation you guys love having amongst the announced teams is players that have been standing out to you, and who have you found over the last 10 has stood out the most for you?
For me, obviously, Matty Butler, Simon Hughes, Ross Campbell's been a great first line. Nicholas Ruch has really turned a page. But I'm going to go to our third line center and Kyle Powers. He's been fantastic here, especially these last couple games. We all know how reliable he is on the penalty kill. He's always that first line center on the PK. And he's finally getting rewarded for his good defensive play with some offensive boosts. 2 games and 2 goals for him, one of them shorthanded. And, I mean, he's been playing really well as of late. He knows what to do when he has the puck. He doesn't panic. He's quick to get it out of the zone. And most importantly, right, thinks over the play. It's not just a quick off the boards and out if the defenseman's waiting there. Sometimes he can wait, maybe try to chip it up a little higher. Maybe he'll go to an outlet. Maybe he drops it back, right? So he's not rushing into decisions, and he's looking like a really mature hockey player right now.
I agree. And also, I mean, you need the offense working on it, but the defense as well. And the tandem of Rucci and Hickey has also been looking very solid. And that's something that's helped us come a long way. Are you thinking that these are some stuff that are really going to help us over the next 3 of being able to balance the goaltending, a luxury not a lot of teams have?
Yeah, well, it's funny. You look at it, and towards the first half of the season, you didn't know who the starter was, right? They're going game and game trying to find and to see who was going to be that starting goalie. But Ruch has kind of taken it over here, and he's played really well. He's seeing the puck a lot better, fighting through the screens. His angles have been a little bit better as well, right, where you see sometimes earlier on in the year, I don't know if it's a new rink, maybe some new dimensions, but he was struggling with the angles and the shots coming off the boards. But I think that he's really fixed that up. I mean, he's looked good, and it's definitely going to help us here this weekend in Quebec, because any time that you got one of the 2 goalies in the nets, you know that you can win. They've proven that they can steal games, and you take a look down to the playoffs, and a lot of good teams, even in the NHL level, you look at their goaltenders, it's never really a one-goal team, right? So, I mean, Vegas last year took a whole village of goalies to get them to the Cup, and with the Panthers. I mean, Alex Lyon, if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have made the playoffs. So for the Islanders, having two really strong goalies in net, it's bound to be a positive for us.
No, that's great. It's wonderful seeing them on this ride. Hopefully they can continue to run it. And then, of course, back to Eastlink the following weekend to once again welcome back Alexi Michaud and bringing in the number one team with Moncton. So thanks so much for taking the time today, Luke, and best of luck on the calls this week.
Yeah, thanks, Lee. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.